Hi, I'm Mary Ann Ka'ahanui, and welcome to my studio at Dollmaker's Journey for today's episode of Tricks of the Trade. Did you know that a few minutes of easy preparation will make a huge difference in the results that you get when you stuff your dolls? Today I'm going to share 3 tips with you that I learned from a wonderful teacher by the name of Colette Wolfe. Tip number 1. After sewing your body part together, take a needle and thread and baste down the seam allowances around the opening. It's really easy to stretch out the opening during the stuffing process, and this basting will keep the edges of the opening crisp so that when it comes time to sew them up, they'll go together very smoothly. Here's a very good example of what can happen if you don't take this easy step. Tip number 2. After you finish basting down your seam allowances, turn your body part right side out. Today I'm using my number 1 favorite doll making tool, my 10-inch hemostats. I'm going to go in, grab this, get it turned out. There we go. Okay. Now before you begin stuffing, either take the edges of your hemostat, or you could use another blunt edge tool like a chopstick, and go inside the part and run the tip all the way around the seam allowance. There you go. And just pull the seam allowance right over the top of your implement and smooth it out. And this will make a big difference when you start putting your stuffing in. I think we've all been amazed at how much stuffing we can fit into a body part. Now here's tip number 3. When you think you're about done, pick up your body part and close your eyes and feel it with your fingertips. And you'll be able to tell immediately where you need to add more stuffing. I can feel a place right in here. And now I can just add some more. Here's another body part that I have finished stuffing, and you can see how crisply and cleanly the edges are going to come together. I'm going to be closing this up with the ladder stitch, and that's going to be the subject of another episode of Tricks of the Trade. So in review, tip number 1, baste down your seam allowances around the opening. Tip number 2, smooth out your seams with a blunt instrument. And tip number 3, feel your piece with your fingertips so that you know where you need to add more stuffing. I'll look forward to seeing you again here at Dollmaker's Journey for another episode of Tricks of the Trade.